Can you think of a time in your life that you have accomplished a goal? Some of these goals can be making an A on a test. It can be making a game-winning shot or something along those lines. Thinking of that goal, can you think of the time that you really thought, I just sealed the deal for that? Maybe it'd be an excessive study time for that goal, or extra shots after practice, staying late, putting in extra work so that you can succeed. In the case of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, or JFK, according to allspeeches.com, he sealed the deal for his candidacy for president in the speech he gave to the Greater Houston Ministerial Association on September 12th of 1960. Today I'm going to tell you some applicable background information about the Catholic Church to start. I'm going to then go to the purpose of the speech, how Kennedy approached it, and why it helped him so much in the election. I'm going to start by telling you some applicable information about the background of the Catholic Church. First of all, Pope John the 23rd was the Pope whenever John Kennedy was running for president and was president. The Pope is the head of the Catholic Church according to the churchauthority.org, and he lives in the Vatican. And the Vatican is in Rome, for those of you that may not know that, and he spends time getting to know people within the faith, basically, and he's not supposed to go to administrative things if that takes time away from other people. So now that you know a little bit about the Catholic Church, I'm now going to tell you and connect the purpose of the speech with the Catholic Church. The presidential election of 1960 was when people really started to question Kennedy's Catholic faith. One of the main reasons was because the United States had never had a Catholic president before in its history. And mainly, people were fearing that the Pope ultimately would have control over the United States, because if Kennedy was told something by the Pope, they thought that he had to do whatever it was. But Kennedy wanted to portray that his faith made him who he was, yes, but it also didn't control everything that he did within his decisions as a president. He said, and I quote, "I believe in an America where the separation of church and state is absolute." And that's exactly what he went for in his speech. Now I'm going to tell you how Kennedy approached his speech. First of all, he had a moral dilemma to face. He either was going to hold strongly to his Catholic views and just stick to those staunch views, or he could completely betray his faith for his candidacy and for the sake of just winning the presidency. However, he was limited to what he could say because of his audience, because the audience he had. He had to be very politically correct in the things that he said. For example, if he said something about the Vatican, he had to be careful because some of the people that were there weren't for him, and they could take that stuff out of context and turn his words around. Or on the other side of things, if he said something about the presidency, he also wanted to hold strongly to his Catholic views. So it was very, he had to pick and choose his words very carefully. He also clearly defined the line of being Catholic and not allowing Catholicism to affect his presidential decisions. Now I'm going to talk about why it helped him in the election. First of all, it really revealed his true character, because he held strongly to his views as a Catholic. He held strongly to what he believed, what he knew was true, but also he stood for what the U.S. stood for. He had a question and answer time actually after his speech, and at one point he said that he just wanted to clarify the fact that he was not an actual Catholic official, but that he was just a believer, and people were actually putting him on the level of someone who maybe worked at the Vatican. This also took away the fear of a Catholic president for some of those in the U.S. Not for everybody, because it wasn't perfect. It maybe wasn't everything that everybody wanted to hear, but it did take away some of the fear of the Pope actually having control over the United States through JFK. And it also showed his dedication to the presidency within reason to his faith. So in conclusion, I have told you a little bit about the Catholic Church and the purpose of Kennedy's speech, how he approached it, and why it changed the way people saw him in the election. I think we all need to use this speech as an example of how to resolve conflict while not compromising our own values and beliefs. We would all benefit if we learned how to handle our conflict the way that John Fitzgerald Kennedy did on September 12, 1960. Thank you.